Zombie College.
Zombie College, Zombie College, Zombie College.
Zombie College.
Yeah, the name of the class that I'm teaching right now is called Utopias and Dystopias, and it looks at the impact of the zombie apocalypse on the Pacific Northwest. It's literally trying to take this idea of utopias, and mostly dystopias, dysfunctional societies, and looking at what might happen in the Pacific Northwest. It's kind of a way in which we can explore a lot of different topics and also connect the students here with people locally. Fewer of us will actually survive those initial days than expected, but for those of you who do survive, Rob's going to tell you a little bit of what might actually happen.
Sorts of things that the NET team is equipped with, but the whole idea is really to build capacity and to raise awareness about what to do after a disaster situation and to build those relationships with other people in the community so that they can best respond to disaster and minimize the amount of death, pain, suffering, and other types of things. It's also a way to empower citizens to take responsibility for their own community, because as we've seen with a number of different natural disasters that have taken place, that we can't always depend on our federal government. We can't always depend on our state government. We can't always depend on the Red Cross to come to our rescue. That especially in a rural area like Yamhill County, it could be days or weeks before aid gets here, especially if the bridges from Portland are knocked out. So this is something to think about.
What's the general mode of creating more zombies from the existing zombies? Yeah, so you get bitten. Presumably there's something in the wound that's transmitted, maybe in the saliva or whatever other bodily fluids that get in, and then now we have an infected person, right? And then what happens to that infected person? Yeah, they at least apparently die, and they reanimate, and you've got your zombie. Okay, so that's pretty boilerplate. Most zombie lore has that aspect of it. Is it curable?
That's that basic question of ethics, like what do we do to help people, right? Help, and we call it serve as well. And I know that a lot of the zombie genres are about ethics, like what is right and what you should do, right? And so I think there's that basic tumult in religion of what is right and then what fits society too, like where can mercy be and does that fit with the church? So I think that's like kind of that basic struggle. How do you help people the best? And then all of a sudden all those religious rules kind of fall away when it comes to that kind of crisis. So over and over again we turn into, okay, we can't necessarily be the judges, but how does this help the best, this person? So in our profession we constantly butt up against, okay, what does the church say about that? What's right? And judgment call, how does that help society? I would say a place where sheep congregate to worship a zombie on a stick that changes into a cracker on Sunday. That kind of zombie Jesus effect. In John 11, Jesus shows up and Lazarus is dead, and it's the first resurrection in what we call the New Testament. Jesus says, "Come out, Lazarus," and Lazarus comes out all wrapped, and he's been dead for 4 days. So he's stinky too. I would think zombies aren't quite so pleasant smelling either. And kind of interesting, you know, we have this dead character and comes back to life, and then essentially we eat flesh and blood. At the co-op we eat that every week, where we say it's not literal, but it's metaphorical of flesh and blood. So Jesus becomes zombie.
You can explore something in a way that's fun, but also actually has a very serious element to it. I'm really trying to get them to think about the sociology of this genre and of our society. We're in a small department in a pretty small community, that you can actually be pretty creative. So I can explore things in a way that I think you're not allowed to do maybe in some bigger settings. With the Center for the Northwest, I really enjoy finding ways to sort of have a regional approach in terms of some of the classes that I teach. It's something that really we don't get a lot when we're working on our PhDs, and Zombie Apocalypse class is a good example of this. Doing is bringing a lot of guest speakers in. I think I've got about 10 guest lectures. Yesterday we had the Portland Trackers in to talk about sort of survival guides. Got a Linfield alum, Beth Satterwhite, who does work on local food production and talking about what would we do. Oregon's actually in a pretty good place for that. So we've got all kinds of people. I enjoy connecting our students regionally, and both through my classes and through work with the center. And so that's one of the things I really enjoy the most, is this class has given me some opportunities to explore that.